Greetings gamers, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over my deck profile for Grand Archive, the Pantheon format. So I am doing a updated the pre-con deck for the Pantheon. I'm doing an updated one for Kongming. So a little bit about Grand Archive and me. So I played this game when it first came out, like right when it first came out. Then I just stopped playing. And then my friends really kind of got me back into it because of the Pantheon format. And so I started picking up cards for it. Other than that, I would still kind of say I'm pretty new to it, this game, because like I said, I only played like really the first set. So there's a lot of cards I don't know. So with this deck profile, if you guys have any suggestions on what I should add to this deck, I'm all for it in the comment area. All right, starting off with the boons, we're going to be playing for the lesser boon is Parvati. So the reason why we're playing this is because we want to protect ourselves as much as possible. And so adding this to protect our barrier so we could kind of live a little bit longer, have a little bit more of a shield, was the main reason why I decided to want to play this, because we want to try to get the cards that we need to get so we can do a lot of damage to our opponent. Now let's put that over there. Now the greater boon I'm playing is Isis. So it is a class lock level 2, but why this is really good is because of the effect where during the stacks for damage we could deal additional damage, which is X, where X is your level divided by 3 rounded down. The reason why I really like this card is because we're trying to empower our level, and what empower is it adds on to our level. So if we're at level 3 and we get like empower 4, then that puts our level at 7. So that divided by 3, we get just a little bit more damage right there. So that is why I decided to run this. Now, playtesting it seemed pretty good. I liked it, but you guys, if y'all want to switch it out, you guys could run these two instead. I do see these as pretty good boons. So this one right here just helps you gain more damage. But I like where I'm at right now when I playtested with my friends. I did, unfortunately, I came in second. So next time I might try to run these boons out. But I think it did good for the most part. Now going off with our spirit, so we are playing just a regular fire on enter draw 7. So next we're playing just the Kongming's from the starter. So Kongming's pretty good because she gets a shifting currents. So we're gonna use this to our advantage. At the end of turn, we could shift this in whatever direction that we want. And so with this right here on level 2, we pretty much kind of want to camp on level 1 until we have a good spell to utilize the on enter with the power 3. Now this Kongming does have a good inherited ability where whenever your shifting currents changes from north to south, you draw a card. I've been using this a lot, especially when I'm at my level 3. Because she has a good ability right here. Whenever you activate a spell, you may change the direction of your shifting currents to an adjacent direction of your choice. So getting this with the inherent ability is pretty good because you get your draws with that. But it's also good because I have cards in the deck where if it changes a certain direction, I gain certain effects. So it's pretty good once I hit Terra. Funny story is I was camping on, I camped on level 1. And actually my spirit I was camping on 2. So it was funny where my friends were like, when we were playing our pod, they're like, why are you still on your spirit right now? They were already on level 2 and I was just camping because what I was doing is I was gaining a lot of card advantage, trying to wait for the perfect time to level up. Other than that, the other cards in our material deck is we are running the Grand Crusader's Ring. So this is pretty good. You do have the Divine Relic right here, which is you can only have one of these keywords in your material deck, but this is good because you banish this, you draw a card. Card draw is really good in this game. The next one we're running is Equinox Hour. Again, drawing cards pretty good. So you play this. Its cost is 0 right there, which is great. You banish it, draw a card, then target opponent may materialize a card from their deck. This is good politics right here. So typically if you help somebody out, they're going to help you out at some point in the game. So that's really good for politicking. Safeguard Amulet. So we're running this just to protect ourselves. So this didn't come up for me because I had to hurry up and level up, because I knew that if I would just keep trying to play the turtle method, just like camping on a level, that my friends will try to kill me. So this didn't come up because of that, but this is still a good card to help prevent damage. Next, we're running the Tomb of Sorcery. So it's class bonus and then level 2 plus. On enter, draw a card into your memory. This is really good, like I said, because you're drawing cards. Although you don't get it, it goes into your memory, but still you're going to get it at some point. Also, by tapping this, the next spell you activate this turn resolves as your champion got a +1 level, so in power 1, pretty good. Next regalia item we're playing is the Gem of Searing Flame. So what this does is, as a spell, whenever your shifting currents change from facing north to west, deal 2 damage to target champion. This is so good if you get this out. So you could have a lot of stats going on where you're moving. Whenever you get to your level 3, you're drawing a card off of the level 2 effect, and then also drawing or giving out damage to your opponent with moving from north to west. So you want to try to ping damage with this deck, and then when you get closer to the end, you're going to want to deal a lot of damage to just like take over the game. Next, we are running Void's Cloak. So this right here is pretty good because it gives you Spell Shroud, and what Spell Shroud is you can't be targeted by spells. So getting this out in play just gives you more protection, so you're able to play the cards that you need to play to deal a lot of damage or to even set up. And then next we have our Terra cards. So we have the Vernal Talisman. This did not come up with me at all. The reason for that is because once I got to level 3, the game was pretty much ending. We pretty much had one turn cycle left and the game ended. I pretty much put a target on my back with the card where we're going to go over later. But like I said, I did come in second. I just didn't have enough manpower to beat my friend at the end. But other than that, with this, like I said, I haven't played it. But as an additional cost to materialize this card, banish 2 preserve cards in your material deck. So that was the main reason why, because and what preserving is you put it has to have the keyword preserve on the card that you play, and what that means is just you put that card into your material deck. And then what you can do is the reason why it has preserve is you can, instead of playing a card, you can get that preserve card from your material deck put it back into your hand. But on enter, you draw a card, and then class bonus is you empower 3, and then next time you activate an empower Terra element spell card, recover 1. This didn't come up with me, but it's still a pretty good card just based on the text. So if I were to play again, I would probably try to get up to my Terra fast and try to get the preserve cards in my material deck so I can get this out, because this is pretty good. Next, we're running the Coronal of Rejuvenation. So as additional cost, you got a material. To materialize this card, you gotta banish a preserve card from your material deck, and then on enter, banish any amount of spell cards from your graveyard. And then whenever you tap this, you can play a card banished by this card, but you have to activate it at slow speed. Really good card. You can really abuse this, but like I said, trying to get this to banish with preserve, that's late game, so this gets pretty hard to do. But if you're able to get this in play, you're going to be playing some good cards by just banishing cards from your grave. All right, so that rounds up the material deck. So next, what we're going to be going over is the main deck. So first card we have is Academy Guide. I feel like this right here is a staple for decks. Just reading it, champion cards you materialize cost 1 less. So this is really good. If you're able to get this early game, you're able to materialize 1. You could go for free, for your level 1, and then level 2, you could, I believe level 2 is what? It costs 2 if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Yeah, your level 2 costs 2, so being able to level up with only a cost of 1 by having this card in play is insane. So Academy Guide, I feels like, is going to be a staple for Pantheon. Next, we're running Dungeon Guide. Dungeon Guide is literally insane. This card right here, on enter, you may banish 2 cards at random from your memory. If you do, level up your champion. Super insane. Could you imagine you play your, let's just say you have Academy Guide, you level up for free off of level 1, and then you go play Dungeon Guide, and then you level up again? That is super broken. But reading this, it didn't come up at all for me, and that's why these cards are pretty much hit or miss, the guides, because if you see them late game, they really don't do nothing for you, but seeing them early, it's like super awesome to see them early. But with this, I would feel like you would want to use this to go to level 3, but to each their own. I think the other strategy I said earlier was pretty good though too. Next, we're running Heavenly Guide. Like I said, we're running the guides. They're guiding us to the championship. So what Heavenly Guide does is, it's a level 2+ lock. On enter, if an opponent controls a non-spirit champion with a card on top of its lineage that wasn't played, level up your champion. This right here, so you have your opponents, they're probably going to be playing Dungeon Guide or Academy Guide, which is why Heavenly Guide's a nice little tech to have. It didn't come up when I played for the first time with my friends. You could take this out because it's good when it works, but like I said, if it doesn't work, it's just pretty much a kind of a dead card in your hand, and like I said, for late game. Next, we're running Morgan Soul Guide. Level 1 lock, and it has a level 2+, and it has a class bonus. So the level 1+, prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to Morgan. Level 2 is your opponent can't recover. That is the big one that we want, because if we're trying to go for game and things like that, we do not want our opponents to recover to make it harder for us to kill them. So having this is pretty good. Nice little tech card. Because one, they're gonna have to try to get rid of this first if they want to try to heal, and that puts a lot of pressure off of your champion because they're focusing on trying to kill this first. And then its class bonus is, at the beginning of your recollection phase, you may glimpse 1 if you don't recover 1. That's really key. So if you're down bad, you can really use this to recover 1 instead of glimpsing. The next card we're going to be going over is Blanche Sheltering Saint, if I said her name right. But it's level 2+, fast activation, so you can cast her for quick speed if you're level 2 or higher. But her effect is insane. If another unit you control will be dealt non-combat damage, prevent any amount of that damage equal to the amount of cards in your memory. This is insane. Like I said, we want to try to protect our champions as much as possible, because this right here says another unit, so that includes your champion. Your champion is considered a unit as well, so this makes this really good, because you can only imagine if we just dump our hand, we have like 4 or 5 cards, then we're preventing that much damage to be to hit us, which, like I said, I think this right here is a staple for all decks, because the use of this could save you and help you win the game. Next, another card I feel like is a staple for Pantheon decks is Sanctified Paladin, because of his effect is insane. It's Foster. As long as Sanctified Paladin is Foster, it gets +3 attack and then +3 health, and then it has Vigor. And then on Foster, draw 2 cards. So this right here is an incredible first turn play right here, because with that Foster and everything has to be in play for a full turn to get that effect. So dumping your hand, playing this turn 1, is if you're like a Magic player, it's essentially, I feel like a Soul Ring turn 1. You feel good when you see this in your opening hand. Next, we're playing the Samaritan's Reach. So the reason why we're playing this is because we want to get the crowd's favor, because that helps not put a real target on back, because if our opponents try to attack us or do any type of target us with the spells or anything like that, they got to pay additional cost to do that. So it kind of puts us somewhat in the back burner, because in this game, a lot of people don't want to pay extra to attack you, so they'd rather attack somebody else. So this helps you be able to get cards that you need without worrying about people really trying to hit you a lot of times, because they're gonna have to pay extra with this. Next, we're playing the Battlefield Benediction. So the reason why we're playing this, well, one, the class bonus, this card costs 1 less to activate, so we can play this for 1, and it's a fast, but we're getting it for the Empower. So it has Empower 2, and then if an opponent controls 3 or more units, then it's Empower 4 instead. So this is good because it helps us get the Empower, so we could play spells that require or give us extra benefits for Empower. Next, I'm playing Fractal of Mana. So it is a reservable, and what reservable is while paying for a reserve cost, you may rest this object to pay for one of that cost. Pretty good, because it helps you not use that much resource to play cards, because you get to rest this. But tapping this class bonus is Empower 1. So we're pretty much, like I said, you guys see a theme so far. We're trying to stack Empower so we can do one big Empower attack. Next card we're playing is the Heighten Spellcraft, which is Empower 3. Really good. And then it gives us also a Floating Memory. Next, I'm running the Piquant Shieldbearer. Has Taunt. We are playing a decent amount of Taunt because we do not want our opponents to attack our champion directly. We want them to attack our units, so that's why we're playing the Taunt cards, is to alleviate the damage that goes to us. Next, we're playing Minister of Ceremony. Tapping this as a spell, deal 3 damage to target unit. Activate this ability only at slow speed and only if your shifting currents face east. So a nice little tag. It just runs with the theme of your shifting. Next, we're playing Weaken Resistance. So class bonus, this card costs 1 less to activate. The next time target unit would take damage from a spell source this turn, it takes that much damage plus level instead. This is insane if you're able to get this out, because you're going to be dealing a lot of damage because you're empowered. You play the card. Let's just say you're a power 4. You're on level 7 now because you were initially on level 3. So that empower adds on to the spell that you attack, and then it also adds on to this right here. So you see, if you're able to protect yourself, you're going to be doing a lot of damage with this deck. Which is why your opponents know that, so you're going to be a big target in this with this deck, which is why you need to protect yourself with taunts and things like that. Next, we're playing the Shared Fervor. So with this card, it helps card draw. Unfortunately, it helps our opponent too, but the main reason I ended up keeping this in my deck was because I'm drawing a card into memory, and I'm also getting the crowd's favor. Just another way to get the crowd's favor. Next, we're playing Nascent Blast. So deal 3 damage to target unit. If this card was in power, put into your memory. Super good, because it doesn't go into your grave, goes into your memory if you're in power, so you're able to use this again at some point. Next, I'm playing the Pneumatic Charm. So on enter, draw a card into your memory. Good. You're going to see a decent amount of card draw in my deck because we're going to try to look for our kill spells that are going to be dealing a lot of damage. And then it has the class bonus. We can sacrifice this card and empower 2. Next, we're playing Gentle Respite. So the reason why I'm playing this is because of the Floating Memory, because it sucks to banish a good card in your memory to materialize. So we want to have as much floating memory as possible, but the effect of Gentle Respite is really good. If target opponent's influence is greater than yours, you draw a card to your memory. So just like I said, another card draw. So you're going to be using this. So what influence is that it's the total amount of cards in your hand and then memory as well. Next, we're playing Star Wars Shieldmate. Has taunt and floating memory. So I read this, I was like, okay, this is staying in deck. Next, I'm playing Veteran Soldier. This right here, only reason it's in here is because of floating memory. Next, I'm playing Harmonious Mantra. This is really good, helps us recover if your shifting currents faces north, and I recover 3 plus level instead. Really good, helps you not die. Next, I'm playing Pendant of Accrual. So this right here, I played it turn 1 and it really didn't do much for me throughout the game. I only was able to draw 1 time with this because my opponents had cards in their hand to be able to pay for this. But at the beginning of each person's recollection phase, they may pay 2, and they don't. I put a depth counter on this, and I can remove 2 depth counters to draw a card to my memory. This right here, I haven't lost hope on this yet. I'm still gonna keep it because we could draw a card. Even though I only drew 1 card the last time I played with my friends, that was 1 more card that I didn't have. So it's staying in there because it actually had 1 use. Unfortunately, I played it turn 1 and it only had 1 use to draw a card. Would have been good if I had more uses, but it gave me at least one extra card. Next, we're playing Scry the Skies. Glimpse level, draw a card to your memory. Pretty good, helps you see cards. Next, we're playing Imperial Countermeasure. It is Exalt, and then it's a fast reaction, and we prevent the next 4 damage that will be dealt to target unit this turn. Draw a card to your memory. It is EX, so we will have to unlock another element in order to play this, but it's still a good card because we could draw a card to memory, and then 2, we can prevent 4 damage that will be dealt to target unit, which means that could also be our champion as well. Next EX card that we're playing is Silver Soldier. It's Retort 2 and Vigor. Next, we're playing the Nibble Court Assassin, another EX card. It has Ambush and Vigor. So on enter, I gain Agility 3. Agility 3 is really good because what it says right here, what Agility is return 3 cards from your memory to your hand at the beginning of your end phase. Super good. Next EX card we're playing is Accelerate. The next card you activate this turn can be activated as though it had fast action, and then draw a card to your memory. So you're seeing we're drawing cards into our memory. So, like I said, we're trying to dig deep into our deck to look for the cards we need in order to kill our opponent. All right, guys, so that wraps up our norm cards. So next we're going to be moving on to our fire element cards. So the first card I'm going to be showing is Erupting Rhapsody. So banish any amount of fire element cards from your graveyard. Your champion gets +1 level until the end of your turn for each card banished this way. So you're gonna, if this right here is really good for late game because you should have a decent amount of fire element cards in your grave. You banishing that, you're gonna bring your level ups like really high to be able to do a really big and power attack, which is gonna be insane. And it does have Harmonize. What that is if you activate ability card this turn, choose any amount of units that deal level damage split among them. You're not really going to be using the Harmonize effect. The main reason this card's in here is for this first effect up here. Next, we're playing Increasing Danger. Draw a card, and each player draws a card to their memory. So another way to draw cards. Next, we're playing Creative Shock. Draw 2 cards to discard a card. It's class bonus. If a fire element was discarded, you may choose a unit and deal it 2 damage. I used this card. It felt good using it because I really fully got the whole effects off with this by dealing 2 damage to my opponent's champion. Pretty nice card to have. Next, we're playing Spark Fairy. It has stealth, and then on enter, target non-champion object gains at the beginning of your recollection phase, deal 1 unpreventable damage to your champion for as long as you control Spark Fairy. This is super good because when you play this and you target one of your opponent's cards that he likes, that he wants to stay on the field, he's just going to keep getting pinged 1 unpreventable damage for each time that this card stays in play. So it puts a target on this card's back and not your champion, which is why this card is pretty darn good in the deck. Next, we're playing the Cremation Ritual. So as additional cost to activate this card, sacrifice an ally, draw 2 cards. So pretty good. We're pretty much going to want to use that whenever we want to try to get rid of a floating memory card to send it to gray so we can use it for next turn. And then on top of that, we're drawing cards for that. Next, we're playing Ignite Fate. Deal 2 damage to each champion, and then it's a floating memory. Slow speed. So I like to say I have a decent amount of floating memory in my deck. So it's really good. Next, I'm playing Cauterizing Seraphim. So it's an advance in Bow X. And what advances, you can reserve all cards revealed as you activate this card. And if at least X of them are advanced element, then this card becomes embowed. And then on enter, if this was embowed, deal X damage to all other norm and basic element allies. So this is good because it helps board wipe, because that's why I'm running somewhat of a decent amount of advanced element cards, because we want to really utilize this, like at least probably put 3 advanced element cards in our memory to be able to get this to pretty much try to board wipe. Next, we're playing Pupil of Sacred Flames. Class bonus on attack, you may banish fire element card from your graveyard, and if you do, empower 2. Another way to empower. And then it has a combing bonus on death. If your shifting currents faces east, each player draws a card, and then you may change the direction of your shifting currents to a direction of your choice. So this is really good, really strategic, because you could fix your shifting currents to whatever you like to help you out with your plays, with whatever other cards you have in play to help synergize and do what you need to do. Next, I'm playing Tenderheart Guard. On enter, each player may discard a card, and then each player that does draws a card into their memory, and then you gain the crowd's favor. So this is just another way for us to get the crowd's favor. Next, I'm playing Solar Providence. Draw a card, then discard a card. And then if we have the Kongming's bonus, you may change the direction of your shifting currents to a different direction of your choice. And then when you change it from facing south to north, this way you may deal damage to target champion. Pretty good. Nice little synergy. Next, we're playing Focus Flames. Class bonus, this card costs 1 less to activate, so we can play this for 1, slow speed. Deal 4 damage to target ally. So if there's a problematic card, this card can help you get rid of it. Next, we're playing Set Ablaze. Deal 4 damage to target ally. Class bonus, level 3. Deal 3 damage to each champion controlled by the same player as that ally. Super good. Like I said, we want to keep trying to ping damage, and then once you see we could deal a lot of damage, it's just going to be game changing. Next, I'm playing Purging Flames. Efficiency. This card costs level less to activate, so if you get a high level, then you can play this for pretty cheap. Deal 2 damage to all units except your champion. And then class bonus, we deal 3 damage instead. So potential nice little board wipe. Next, we're playing Disintegrate. Class bonus is efficiency, and then we could destroy target ally or regalia. So nice little snipe to get rid of a problematic card. Next, I'm playing Shazoon of the Ash. On entry, you may discard a card, and if you do, draw a card. And since we are playing Kongming, we get this bonus where we could tap, and then we could banish a fire element card from our graveyard. And then as a spell, we deal 4 damage to target ally. Activate this ability only if your shifting currents faces north or south. So nice little snipe to destroy something problematic. Next, we are playing one of our huge kill spells. If Empower goes good for us, is Fireball. So it has the class bonus where this card costs 2 less to activate. And then we deal 1 plus level to target unit. So could you imagine if we have our greater boon, and then on top of that, cards that the one card that I showed you where whatever we do attack or do damage, we double it based on our level, and then we play this Fireball. So could you imagine if we, because I have hit to like level Empower, I'm at level 8. So could you imagine playing a Fireball when you have another adder that doubles it based on your level, and then the other ices? You're you're killing somebody with this card. So this is a really good card to have, and you want to try to draw this. That's why we have a lot of card draw in your deck, so you can find this, so you could kill somebody in a moment's notice. Next, I'm playing Solar Pinnacle. It's slow speed, and then as long as your shifting currents faces north, this acts as a fast card instead, and then you could deal 2 damage to target unit and then power 2. So pretty good. You're dealing damage and then you give yourself an Empower. Next, we're going to be going over our Fire Element EX cards. So I am running the Suffocate Ash. So class bonus, it costs 2 less to activate. We can negate target card's activation unless its controller has Suffocating Ash deal 3 plus level unpreventable damage to their champion. So imagine if somebody wants to heal, and then you play a negate to negate it. And let's say they really need to heal, but they can't now because if they do that, they just die. So this right here, or if they try to kill you or do something bad to you, you could play this to negate it on its, or they deal a lot of damage, potentially probably going to kill them. Good little sneak card to have for late game. Next, one of our other border wipes is Lava Storm. Destroy all allies. Next, I'm playing the Pyretic Prognosis. Draw 3 cards and discard 2. Helps us filter, get through our deck, and find cards that we need. Alright guys, so that rounds off our Fire Element cards. So next we're going to be moving on to our Terra cards. So we are playing Baruri Resplendent Barrier. So this is a unique Fantasia mage spell. If damage will be dealt to your champion while this card has 2 or less charge counters on it, prevent 2 of that damage and put a charge counter on this instead. And then since we're playing Kongming, we get the Kongming bonus. We sacrifice this, we empower 7. Activate this ability only if there are 3 charge counters on this card, and only if your shifting currents faces south. This is insane. So you can only imagine if we already played a card that already gave us Empower, and then we sacrifice this to give us an additional Empower, and then we play a kill spell. It is GG's. I feel like there's no way for our opponent to like survive an attack like that. Next, we're playing Planar Abyss. It costs 12, but we do have the class bonus efficiency, which we can reduce it based on our level. At the beginning of your next recollection phase, destroy all non-champion objects, and if your shifting currents faces south, deal 10 damage to each champion you don't control. So this was a card, guys, I played, which killed off 2 of my opponents and then left me and my other friend to fight off to each other. Unfortunately, he beat me at the end because I didn't have enough damage to like really kill him off. I think he had like, whenever he killed me at the end, I think he was down to like maybe like 4 health left until he would have died. I just didn't have the manpower to kill him after that. But this right here, I played this and it immediately put a target on my back because it would have board wipe and then deal 10 damage to each champion that I don't control. So luckily I had cards to kind of protect me. When it came back to me, I only had 1 health left. Because as you can see, people are trying to like come after me because I played this card. This was a ticking time bomb. Because with this, if my opponents would have killed me, then this wouldn't have gone off. Next, we're playing Entrenched Fortress. This is good because 1, it's taunt with the 6 right here, and then on enter deal 3 damage to target unit. This was staying because I was like, hey, look, this helps us for protection, for defense, and then also we're dealing damage too. I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm taking this out. Next, we're playing Mayrin of Verdancy. So this right here, we get the Kongming bonus whenever your shifting currents change from facing east to south, we recover 4. So a good way to get health back. And then also it's floating memory. The floating memory, like this is going to be so late game where it doesn't really matter. This is just a good little adder, but it's there. Main reason I kept it here was because the recover 4. Next, I'm playing Verdure Preservation. Kongming bonus, whenever your shifting currents changes facing the next clockwise direction, reveal the top card of your deck and put it into your material deck preserve. So this is the way that we can get a card into our material deck as preserve. And then by paying 3, we sacrifice this card in power X, where X is twice the amount of preserved cards in your material deck. Activate this ability only if there are 5 or more preserved cards in your material deck. So really good card. This is extremely late game because we have to build up our preserves into our material deck in order to really get that effect off. Next, I'm playing Ruinous Pillars of Kidao. Class bonus on enter and power 2, draw a card, and then whenever your shifting current changes from facing west to east, sacrifice this card, and then we destroy target non-champion object that we don't control. So nice little removal for late game. Next, we're playing Leeching Bolt. Deal level damage to target unit and recover 2. Insane. Like I said, imagine us gaining a lot of level and then dealing that level damage to our opponent. This is another kill spell, by the way. If our opponent can't negate or has like taunt or something like that up there, we're going straight to their champion and killing them with this card. And then we do have the class bonus. If Leeching Bolt is empowered, put into your owner's material deck preserve. So another way to get a preserve card into deck. Next, we're playing Terra. It is preserved, so when we play this, we're drawing a card and then we put this card into our material deck as preserved. Next, we're playing Septernal Sage. So it's another preserve card, so whenever it dies, it goes into our material deck as preserve. And then the class bonus, on attack, you may recover 3, and if you don't, we empower 3. Insane, helps us empower. Next, we have Flourishing Key. So with this card, this was one of the cards I wanted to use late game, but when I materialized, this card got banished. I was sick to my stomach when that happened, but those things happen, I guess. But what this card does, super crazy. Whenever your shifting current changes from facing any direction to north, while this card's activation is on the stack, put 4 charge counters on that activation. And then after that, we deal level plus X damage on target unit, where X is the amount of charge counters on this card's activation. Insane, because we're playing this typically, well, not typically, we're only playing when we're level 3. But with our level 3, we could, whenever we play a card, we move the shifting currents. So that's why we're able to get this effect off. Another kill spell. Next, we're playing Roots of Tomorrow. It's a fast activation. Reveal the top card of your deck and put it into your material deck preserved, and draw a card into your memory. So another way to put a card to preserved into our material deck, and then we draw a card. So it's really good. Next, we're playing Channel Manifold Desire. As an additional cost to activate this card, banish preserve card from your material deck, and then empower X plus 2, where X is the reserve cost of the banished card. Then if your shifting currents faces north, you may put a preserve card from your material deck into your hand. Next, we're playing Everlonging Thorns. Put 2 debuff counters on target ally. If your shifting current faces east or west, put 2 plus level debuff counters on it instead. And then we do get the Kongming bonus since we're playing Kongming. If Everlonging Thorns is empowered, put it into its owner's material deck preserve. So we have a decent amount of cards to get the preserve effect. Now, last but not least, we're playing Zukong Shifted Fates, if I said that right. It's a unique Fantasia Mage Ultimate Spell Shroud. Kongming Bow. So this actually I just got from my friend because he saw me playing Kongming and he pulled this card. So he was like, hey, this will go good for your deck since you're playing Kongming. I did not have this card before. This literally just got added after my friend gave me the card after we finished playing. So Spell Shroud, and then Kongming's bonus: whenever your shifting current changes to facing the opposite direction, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and then put them into your material deck preserve. Super good. And then you deal 6 plus X damage to target unit you don't control, or X is the amount of preserve cards in your material deck. Guys, this right here is another kill spell. So how many did we count? Like 6 kill spells or so. As you can see with this deck, so that rounds everything off. So as you can see with this deck, we have a lot of bangers going on with this. So that is why we had to play super defensive. We had to build a good defense and try to kind of like turtle our way to get the cards that we need, so we can just do like kill spell after kill spell to win the game. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. Let me know what you think about the deck. I am interested to know what guys you would add to this deck, because like I said, I only played one game with my friends, and on top of that with Grand Archive, I literally only played when it first came out, and that was it. Now I'm just now getting back into it. So if there's any cards that you guys suggest, please leave a comment so I can look up those cards so I can improve this deck. But other than that, this deck seemed pretty fine to me as of right now. Just pretty much me just reading the cards that I did see and like, oh, that would go good with this deck. But other than that, guys, thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.